Hello everyone. Today I'm starting to make oak trees, and here's the supplies that you need to make oak trees. So you get skewers. I got a bag of these, about 100 of them, but I'm not going to make that many trees. And then I took some speaker wire that I use for my bus lines, and I cut them in lengths, and then I stripped them and cut them, and then I take two strands and put them around the skewer. I have another thing here. Okay, I'm back. One more thing I forgot to put on the table. That's called Grimy black paint. The other one next to it is concrete. Then I got tacky glue. Behind them, I'll move them out of the way now, is a bag of sawdust. Then there's a bag of polyfiber from Woodland Scenics. And then over here we got, what we cover the trees with is coarse turf, which is T1365, fine turf, which is T1346, and then we got some green grass T45. That just gives it some lighter color when you put it on. When I get to that, I'll show you those. And then, of course, hairspray. So there are the supplies. I'll put them in the description down below. And so I made up a couple in different stages right now. And with the sawdust, this is pretty much dried out, but you make a mix with some water, a drop of dishwash soap, and then a ton of white glue, Elmer's glue, and then pour in some sawdust, and then you mix it up, and then you paint the tree. I'll take you over to where I got two of them already wired, and they stand up on the skewers, and then I got to twist all those wires, so I'm not going to show that on the video. This takes a lot of time, so I'm going to make up all these, and then I'll start twisting all the individual wires to make a tree. And then what I do is I make up the mix with the sawdust, and then I paint them, you know, coat them with that and all the branches. I'll show you those steps when I get to them. And then after that dries, then I spray them on my air gun with the Grimy black. And then once that's dry, then I put the poly fiber on it. But this time around, instead of then I have to paint the polyfiber with the Grimy black. So this time I'm going to do it differently. Once I get the glue is all dry with the sawdust, I'm going to use the tacky glue this time and stick on the polyfiber, and then I'll spray the entire thing at once. It'll save a step, I think. So we'll see how that comes out. That's what I'm going to try this time around. And then here's one of them that I finished. So that's the one that I put on the layout. And so we're going to go from there. So I'll be back later with the next step, which will be after I get all these wires twisted. I'm making 10 more trees. That's all I need. And then I'll show you putting on the glue and mixing up the glue and all that sort of thing, and then we'll go from there. And we'll do it one step at a time. So we'll see you in the next step. This is Tom, and we'll see you then. Okay, we're back. So I'm just going to show you how I put them on the skewers here. And what I do is I twist these wires and I spread them out a little bit, and then I put them together there. And then I take this one and twist it. I had to twist them together so they wouldn't all fall apart before I cut all these up the other day. So just have to untwist them now. Alright, so I get them all, I put them all together like that. Take them. And then you just start anywhere. And I leave a little bit, and they're for the roots. So you just take them, and then you just start wrapping this around the skew. I go up about 3 turns before I start taking out the branches. So that's about good there. And then I just take a couple and I twist the bottom. Like that. Go around, pull one out here, twist the bottom. Don't worry about these lengths, they're all going to get trimmed off after you make the branches. So then I twist it up again, take another wire, and you do this all the way up. It's a lot of twisting, so hope you don't get corporal with your fingers. Anyway, yeah, just keep on pulling wire off and then twisting it. It makes like the main branch, and then you pull up again, and then you twist, pull it out, and you keep doing that all the way up. But you don't see me untwisting all the wires. Well, I just want to show you how I get it on the skewers. And then you just keep twisting them. You keep spinning it around and pulling out another piece. The wires get all tangled up. Yeah, that's all you do. Just twist it around a little bit, and then I try to keep this going like this, and then go around once or twice, and like that. Another one there. Around, and then since it's wire, you can move these wherever you like. That's pretty much it. Almost to the top. What I keep doing is twisting and around. Like here, like two branches here, there's a big thick one. And then at the end, and just twist it around. And that's it. And then you can just move branches to one side and even, make it look better. And then I just slide it up to the top. And then these are your roots. And that's it. And then what I do is I break the skewer in a couple spots so the tree doesn't look straight, with the skewer. So that's it for now. And we'll be back after we get all these done. Okay, we're back. I made the other 9 already. I just want to show you the last one on what I do. So what we do is take one of these wires and then we just start splitting them, and they get tangled, and then you just have to fan them out like that. And you do that on all the wires. Now, like, I pull some of these down, like makes like a little branch there, and I just pull these apart like so. And you do this for all the wires, and this takes a while by the time you get around the whole tree and all the different wires. I just let them lay down, then once I get down, I try to pull them up a little bit, and I spool around to get to the easy ones, and I just keep on pulling these wires apart like so. Pull them apart, fan them out. Then once you're done, then you trim them off. These are way too long, of course, and like this one way down low here. And you just keep on doing this until you get them all apart, and you work your way all the way up the tree. And, you just put your fingernail in there and split them up. So I'm going to pause the video now, and then when I get back, and then I'll just show you the trimming, and then I'll show you all the other ones that I've got done. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, we're back. So I got them all split. So what I do is I twist the roots a little better. And that's that noise in the background. That's Harley chewing on his bone. And I just cut these off. I don't need them this long. Just cut that off there. We got 3 of those. And we cut that one off there. And then we just trim off these. You just prune it. You don't need them that long. you can always cut them after you, and then you can always move the wires around, spread them out a little bit, and then you can cut a little more. There you go. That's it. Now the next step is to make the paste, and then you put that on the wires. So we'll do that in the next video, next part of this video, and we just have a few more steps to go. So we'll be back later. Okay, now we're in the next step here, and we're making the paste right now. And I put about 1.5 ounces of water in there, and some water, and a little bit of dishwashing soap, and some Elmer's glue. Poured that in there, and it's going to start mixing it up. It's a little liquidy. Add a little more glue. I need to make a big batch because of the number of trees I got, so it's got to be like oatmeal. And a little bit. That's a little better. And then what we do is we just add a couple of spoons of, I do about 2 or 3, and then we just mix that up. We just keep, that was the sawdust we just added. So now we're, see, it's getting there. Mix it up pretty good. You don't want it too liquidy. It'll just drip right off. So it's got to look like oatmeal, which pretty much does. Maybe a little more glue. No, a little bit more sawdust probably. Let's just see. Get that. Yeah, I think a little bit more sawdust. Just mix that all in there. Get the right texture. That noise in the background is my Harley here chewing on his bone again. He loves that bone. I think we got it. That looks pretty good. So, what else we gotta do? We'll move this bag out of the way. Got that off of eBay for a few bucks instead of going out in the barn there and sawing up all kinds of wood. This was already made, so it's not bad. And I have enough there to do, I don't know, a lot. So now what we do is we take, and I always start from the top so it drips down, and just start painting. And you have to worry about globs. You can always take care of them. And you just coat all the wire. Now you can't see what I'm doing up top there. Let me move the camera. Right to there, that should be good. And just start draping all of them. You can. You don't have to go all the way out to the ends on the wire, just like the main branch part, because this all gets painted anyway. But the sawdust makes it look like bark when it's painted. I do the roots. And just cover the tree as best you can. May need to give another coat. It gets all over the place, as you can see. I got 10 of these to do, so it's going to take a while getting them all. And then they'll set for, leave them set for the rest of the day, and then next step will be to put the poly fiber on the branches and then paint them after that. Once they're painted, then we can put the foliage on it, but one step at a time. I just use my hands, always can wash it off. And then once you get all this done, you can always move the branches around. Still, after you get it all covered and even painted, you can move them around to, they'll get to where you like. So, I'm not worried about what the branches look like right now. Just like to get the main trunk covered pretty good. That way, because that's the thing that stands out when you paint it. Try to get in all the little spots. So you don't see the wire. And then I paint the roots like I said before. Them done. And get a little bit more on that root. And I just go over a couple of the branches that I might have missed. And that's it. So that one let dry, and then I'll do the next 9, and then I'll be back for the next step. We'll see you then. Okay, the trees are now all covered with the sawdust glue, and now I'm putting on the polyfiber. So I took this tacky glue here and put a little pile here on my little workboard here, and I just take a little on a toothpick and just dab it on some of the branches. I work from the bottom up. Just need a little bit on it. Then I take a piece of polyfiber and really thin. You don't need it thick. And then you just put it on there like so. And then you just go up here, put a little on. You cover the whole tree with the polyfiber. And there's no, set way to do this. You just put it on. And that'll hold back help hold the turf that you put on the trees. Sticks to your fingers too. So that's what it looks like. And then I'll just add the rest on, and then I'll be back after I get all the trees done. And then after that, once they dry a little bit, then I'm gonna take them over to the airbrush station and start airbrushing them with the grimy black. So we'll be back when we get to that. That'll be later on, and we'll be back then. So we'll see you in the next stage. Okay, we're back for the next step. We're here in my airbrush station, and I'm spraying this with grimy black right now, and you gotta get it on all the green. And on the branches. Got to move it all around and get it all over. The wires are so thin, it's hard to get the paint on them. But the covering will cover all this. When I get all these done, then I can start putting the next step on. Then I got to move all the branches around again because this airbrush pushes them all down. And the bark looks good. Just to deaden down the color on the poly fiber is good enough. Now it's storing. So that's that. So we'll just continue with the next step once I get all these coated. Be back in the next session. Okay, we're here for the finalizing of the tree, and our supplies for today are coarse turf from Woodland Scenics, T1365, Woodland Scenics fine turf, T1346, and again, like I said before, I'll put these all in the description. And also from Woodland Scenics, green grass T45. Also, once we're done with putting all that on, I'm going to just put a little concrete color on the trunk, just give it a little extra texture. I just use a brush to do that, and you just have to dry brush it on there a little bit. And also hairspray. And here's the tree, and I put some paper down on the table. You can't see it, but right there. And when you sprinkle the coarse turf on, it'll all fall on there, so I can capture it and then put it back in and you reuse it. So what we're going to do is put some hairspray on the tree, and I'm going to go out, take this to my hairspray area, which is outside the door. So I'll be back in a second. Harley. I knew he was going to do that. Okay. So we got it all sprayed up, and I just like to sprinkle on the coarse turf. You could use your fingers, but that kind of like clumps it up a little. Yeah, Harley's outside barking up a storm now. Then each time you put a shot of hairspray on it, solids it down. This coarse turf is really tricky to get out of the canister here. Gotta keep tapping it. Okay, and then I just tap it, the loose stuff comes on. And then, you know, you have to trim off some of these wires that are exposed, but they'll be, that looks pretty good, just like that. Okay, so what I gotta do then is I take up my paper with all the excess on, and I'll just put that aside for now. And then I'll go back out to my spray station. Be right back. Okay, now I'll put some fine on there. You just sprinkle this all around with your fingers. This gives it a little extra coloring. You don't have to go crazy with it. A little bit here and there. And just a little bit more. Alright, one more shot of hairspray. Be right back. Okay, it's getting there, and then a little of the grass. This gives it like leaves have sunlight on them. So, and this you just want to be very sparse with this. I'm going to take this here piece of paper off. Save that stuff too. It can just fall on the table. It's not that much. And you just sprinkle it around. Like so. Tap it off, and now you have an oak tree. Now we'll just put a little concrete paint on there. Shake this bottle up real good. Pour some in here. Mix it up a little bit. And just touch it a little bit here and there. and that takes care of that. So I'll just trim off some of these little wires here and there, and then I'll be back and we'll plant this on the layout, and I'll finish up the rest of them today, and we'll go from there. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back now, and I'm gonna put the tree on the layout. And so what I do is I break off the skewer. I make it about 1 inch or so. You don't need much just to go into the layout, so I'll just break it off. And then I use some tacky glue, and I put that on the skewer. And of course it doesn't want to come out when you need it to. You don't need much. There we go. This is enough to get it in there. I'm going to break this off a little bit more. There. And then what I did was I put some skewers in where I need to put these trees to make the hole. And once I remove that, I can see the hole. And I'll just put that in that hole, like so. Push that down. Get that out of the way. And that looks pretty good. Take this rock out of the way here. And what I do now is I'm going to move it out of the way of the wire to my little temporary service for that house. And then I take some earth. This is earth. This is in a different jar, but this is earth. And I take a little bit and I sprinkle it around the bottom here. Like so. And then I put some alcohol on it. Little drops. And then I use Woodland Scenic cement. I've used hodgepodge and made mixes before. They both work, but I had this on hand, so just doing this for the fine scenes right now. And I just pour a couple drops of this on here. And that'll solidify that. And that's it. That's your oak tree. I'll move up close so you can get a better view of it. And not a bad looking tree. So I'm going to do the rest of them today, and that's for that. So I'll have all my trees done, and like I said, I'll put all the parts that I use in the description below. Anybody needs any assistance on how to do this, please reach out to me. And we're gonna continue with this today, and hopefully I'll have all of them put on and move on to the next project. So everybody have a great day, what's left of it, and we'll see you in the next video. This is Tom, and happy trains.